came to tiny Nazareth, his own hometown that day. He walked into the synagogue to worship God and pray. The people said, "We know him."
God set forth the plan biblically called the year of Jubilee, where all debts would be forgiven in the 50th year.
I believe that the term the acceptable year of the Lord is connected to the context of Jubilee. And I think that whole concept is connected to the idea of Sabbath, where God says, remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. And so what you have with the concept of Jubilee is the expansion of the Sabbath. Not only was there just to be a day of rest, but you have with Jubilee a year of rest, a year where the land would rest, a year where the people would rest, a year where there would be no wars, a year in which all persons who were enslaved would be set free. So I think Luke ties into that by saying this acceptable year, this year of Jubilee, this year of Sabbath, if you will, has come to fruition. After all, it is on the Sabbath when Luke does have his Jesus talking about what he has come to do.
Jubilee is restoring the dignity of all humankind, that in this cycle of 7 years times 7, and then this year of Jubilee, it's the restoration of full humanity. It's the restoration of the dignity of all persons, that no one is to be permanently discounted.
I see the year of Jubilee as a time of liberation, when all of God's creation will be given a second chance. Those who are poor, those who are impoverished, those who are indebted are not relegated to an eternal state of indebtedness and poverty.
Jesus in this Jubilee agenda is basically saying to me that his desire for all of humankind is that we understand that it belongs to God and we're all called to enjoy it, as opposed to big I's and little U's, as opposed to those who possess everything and others possess nothing.
Fully acted out, the kingdom of God should release people from debt, should release them from all the kind of things that bind them. And I think that does have social and political implications that reach all the way to the economy and reach all the way to debt structures and reach to the kind of political and social structures and systems that enslave people and prevent people from having the kind of choice where they can have a better life, not only for themselves, but for their children and their children's children.
This text reminds us that we all belong to God. The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein.
This is the day